Alright, so back at it again with another solo to master video. In this video, we will be popping off crazy and getting all the way from Platinum 1, which we're in right now, to Diamond with an insane 800 RP game. And as usual, I figured that I'd explain my decision making. So I decided to land on... This is Broken Moon. I'm not a big fan of Broken Moon, by the way, but I decided to land here because I think it's a pretty solid place to drop when I think there were two teams here. Actually, no, it wasn't even. This was just an ego drop. Like, they gave us the Mirage Voyage and it has a lot of good loot, so I was like, alright, let's go for it. We ended up getting a good pick here on the Mirage, so I'm moving up. I've been playing a little bit of Pathfinder on Broken Moon, but generally I've just been trying to avoid it. Sadly, I had already started going live by the time I realized Broken Moon was on, so that wasn't that nice, but other than that, you know, things are fine. So that's pretty much a standard cleanup right there, nothing to really write home about. Switching up the guns here again. We weren't contested. That was my memory not serving me right. I did drop here like one game ago, and we were contested, but this game we're fine. So prior to this was live streamed over on Twitch and on YouTube. So we're going to be running a Wingman and R9 specifically. Like, I've been trying to run this combo a lot, but I think specifically because it is on Broken Moon, and as you guys might know, Broken Moon is not really that great. I don't think it's that great of a map in general, or rather it is great, that's the problem, it's too vast. There's just not enough space, or rather there's not a lot of angles to play shotguns or whatever. Wraith is generally not even a good choice. I'd been running Pathfinder prior to this, but my teammate ended up taking him, so I lost the Pathfinder pick, and now I'm just struggling to loot. I cannot stress how much I dislike this map. I was very vocal about that the entire stream. Thankfully, by the time this video is up, I don't know if we'll be streaming, we'll be doing scrims probably, or have been doing scrims, but then we will have rotated probably to Storm Point or World's Edge, and it's just welcome. I just think those maps are better. So anyways, we're just kind of looting up here. I'm playing around with the ziplines. As you guys know, we tried out the movement gym in a previous video, just trying to like feel it out and learn some movement techniques, and it actually ended up helping a lot more in game than I thought it initially would. Also, right now looking at this, I realized you can just drop into the hole here on this POI, and you'll be able to use the updraft to. I think it might actually be enough to put you on the Mirage Voyage. I might be wrong about that. Definitely something I have to try in the near future. Maybe you guys in the comments already know, so you can just let me know. Either way, we're just chilling here, and my passive actually goes off for once. So I'm just kind of spamming shots here, not really connecting necessarily here, trying to, you know, you gotta predict a bit with the Wingman. But here we go, getting good damage, an amazing cross angle. Put the Arc Star down there to kind of just keep the pressure up. I'm moving forward here, because obviously they're cleaning up the last guy. And that was a Pathfinder, and both the Pathfinder on my team and I were like, okay, we have to go for this. However, I can't figure out how I'm supposed to get up here, and then I realized, oh yeah, ghost jumps that we learned in the zipline video. So we can do that. So both Pathfinder and I were like, alright, let's go for it. Sending it after this guy with the Hope's shard, whatever it's called, the knife. I just need to mention it. I bought it so I can write it off as a tax, write off a business expense. Now I've done that, now it's fine. Anyways, we're moving up here, and we're just kind of... Chasing a Pathfinder is really hard. Generally speaking, you don't want to do this, but I think I was just like that confident, and I kind of tilted. Like, Loba is all the way back here. Pathfinder's with me, we're both looking, but she's really disconnected, and again, we're chasing a Pathfinder, and a Pathfinder has more movement. Like, I basically am relying on my Pathfinder to have the same level of movement or level of grapples that the other Pathfinder does. And generally speaking, obviously, like, if you have to stop and shoot to get sightlines or whatever, I knew this was a bait, so I went for the left, and there's right there. But generally speaking, like, if you chase someone, the one being chased will get away if they like play the angles right, because I have to stop and shoot, which you know, ends up bleeding a lot of time. There's actually some really cool decisions that go into this video, like both macro and micro wise. So if you can just disregard some of the aim, I mean, I'm trying to hit a guy, tiny target on my screen. I'm really glad or excited to show you some of the decisions we made here in this video that I still remember. This is the day after. Also, I hope the video quality is still good. This is going straight off the live VOD, and I can certainly tell that there's a pretty big difference between the normal VOD and my VOD. Okay, so anyways, sorry. or my local VOD when I record. Anyway, so I'm just taking a high ground here. Bit of a risky angle here, but I trust I can do it. Pathfinder goes down, but I have a pretty solid flank. Bit risky to drop down, but I take the risk. I do have the glass out of the wall. Perfectly timed on the Octane. A little bit of energy damage. Not the best, but we get him. I don't know where the hell this Horizon came from. I put some shots down. Because she jumped into my, frame of view, but I shouldn't have to. I back up, try to stay alive, managed to get a reset here. Try to pop one cell. I see Pathfinder is, or rather Loba is here on the left. He even gets a knock. So there's one guy left. I was using a cell. I finished that cell, just in case he shoots me back. Some decent shots, and we get the kill. Now, I hear the zipline going off here. And in this situation, you guys at home, you might be like, oh my god, run away. Wow, I'm so scared. We gotta run. And my teammates actually told me, oh no, it's a third party, we gotta run. But I don't. You know why? I don't know. I don't know why I fought this, but it worked out. I faked it, right? Like in a game of poker, I realized I have a bad hand, but they don't know that. They don't know I have a 2 and 7. I might have a double ace. What do they know? I'm going to royally flush them down the toilet by just peeking and showing that, oh yeah, I'm here. I'm looking at you. I can shoot back. I can deal damage. And they're weak minds. They're like, wait, we can't. Like, I even tell my teammates, just stick the rest here. And I'm like, I also know I can sell this bait even better because I have red armor. If you see red armor, especially like in this rank, especially like in this circumstance, you're gonna be like, wait, we can't actually like go for this. Now they're actually not even hitting me, and they just see all the damage they dish out. Here they do see the red. But with the amount of damage here I'm putting down, they know they can't push up. Especially now there's a big open area, I have high ground. And I think they actually end up backing up at one point. So, just holding my ground here and just trying to stand in front of my teammates and just letting them get the reset actually ended up saving us, even though it's not like a good decision, right? So there's a big fight here. So the team that ran away because there was so much attention ended up getting a shot in the back. Apparently there were a lot of dead squads, as you'll see in a little bit. But me feeling brave, I move up here towards the door. Kick the door down because it seemed like batting or selling. That was an oopsie. Wasn't my intention to jump all the way back there. I arc star here because I'm like, we gotta put a little bit of damage down. I could tell him it was getting pushed. Didn't know they were that close. I get one entry, very nice. I move up and just assist my teammate, or try to through the smoke. Very good beam here. Aim training paying off. Good stuff, Ottr. And now they can go get the reset. And I think I even made a point of that right here. There's been so many people, especially like in the solo to master, is something I've noticed. People in Platinum hold hands like crazy. I normally don't do like solo to master pushes. I know I do videos occasionally because I D-rank a little bit. But I generally don't do solo to master pushes. I'm not a big fan of the concept as far as content goes. I'll try to do an educational spin on it or whatever, but like it's not... I'm not the type of guy who makes like 20 accounts, constantly making a new account, farming bronze to platinum and starting over, right? Like, we just get it up to master every few seasons. I mean, at one point I might start doing that, like, new accounts more, but anyways, that's besides the point. The point is that in the lobbies, almost everyone I'm seeing, it seems to be like a free stack, and almost everyone seems to be like fully coordinated. Again, they're doing like full Freeman pushes, just pushing together. And that seeps into, like, you have to think about how you approach a fight, and you have to keep that in mind, I feel. Like, once I realized that everyone in these lobbies is super sweaty, like, not in a skillful way, but, you know, like, they got sweat just pouring off their foreheads. They're sitting in a basement, all three of them huddled up at a LAN party wearing, like, jerseys with sponsorships pending, with their mom coming down with some Hot Pockets for dinner. Like, they're very, very serious about what they do, but they're platinum. So you gotta keep that in mind when you make decisions. They will try to do very sweaty things, again, they'll push as full teams and whatever, but they're, you know, they're platinum. So you can usually outplay them if you just, there's always going to be mistakes being made, you just have to find them and use them. Like, even pro players make mistakes, you just have to find whatever it is. And that's also another reason why the arc stars are good, because if a full team runs together, that makes them a big juicy target for an arc star. Extremely easy to hit, and at the same time they'll just break them up completely, unless they continue running next to each other, which some of them do. Anyways, moving up, so we're rotating here. Again, I'm not like a big expert on Broken Moon in general. Again, I don't like this map. I can't stress that enough. I've never liked it. I don't think there's ever going to be a time where I like it. And with that in mind, I don't play it. It's not in the competitive rotation or anything. There's no incentive for me to play it except when it comes on, I guess in this specific case where I'm kind of forced to because I already went live and I didn't want to like start playing, see it's Broken Moon and get off. But it's definitely not my first or my second or my third or my fourth choice of a map, but it's certainly a strong fifth. So this fight we're moving into here is a bit interesting too. I don't feel like I did as much damage as I could have, and actually having a PK in this specific type of fight would have been beneficial. However, I didn't have a PK, I had a wingman at R9, so my hands were a little bit tied on this. Anyways, I'm moving up here, I'm taking this door. I know what my teammates are gonna be, just like 3 doors in this style of building, one here, one here, one here. So I'm peeking this, trying to look for an arc star stick. Didn't connect for whatever reason. I switch up the angle because I know they're looking there. I get a little bit of damage and hit the door. I could see it was cracked. I was like, oh yeah, what if I kick it? It breaks. Good flank here, a good damage on the Octane. Sadly, no knock, and I get traded with the catalyst. I am low already, and I just stick the bat because like the #1 thing you don't want to happen, especially in ranked, especially in Broken Moon ranked, is to get knocked, right? Like if you get knocked, you will die. There's going to be a third party almost every time. You need to have a quick, clean fight and not die when doing it, and we'll see plenty of examples of that shortly. Anyways, pretty clean fight. My teammates clean it up. I provided pressure and I provided some entry damage. But at the end of the day, I think one of those guys were AFK, so it was kind of free. It was a 2v2 with the opening on our side. And they were stuck in like in a corner. So that was pretty cool. Very, very well done by my teammates. I got the luck of the draw with this team for sure. Anyways, moving on here, we're gonna look for some poke damage. We see this Loba has a purple. I'm like, okay, we're gonna move forward on that. We get the opening. And I can portal forward here, I can take the side here and try to look for some entry damage. I hear them running backwards here, so I actually start moving this way because I want to meet them. To me, if a team runs away... Also, by the way, super great, super glad. If a team runs away, I've said it before, like there's some things a team can do, especially when it comes to certain ranks, that... this is useful for any of you guys, like it's very important to know, especially when we talk about mind games, like faking out and playing your hand or whatever. Never run away from a fight and never like set up preemptively, like never show your weakness, because that's what they did. We shot back and they immediately got super scared and ran away, which immediately told us these guys, they don't know what they're doing or they have no like faith in what they're doing. The point is we can just push them and kill them, which I did. I even took a 1v1 with a low, but normally I would try to avoid it even in platinum because you never know, right? Not my proudest shots here. I still struggle shooting for the smoke and I don't even have aim assist. It's just difficult. Anyways, we're moving up here. These guys are doing the same thing. They came in, did a little bit of, you know, a little bit of a showing a face, but that was about it. I didn't get the hip fire here as I wanted, but I'm just helping out Pathfinder here in the smoke. DTs are OP. So again, you know, the last team with the Loba that I killed, I was expecting they could like come back here, so we had to like always keep an eye on it. But they already showed they are like completely not paralyzed, but they seem very against actually playing the game and facing their fears. So I was, you know, I was feeling confident that I could just go for the, like for the fight or whatever. Like they're probably still running. Like to this day, this was last night. They're probably still running away from this fight. That's just what they do. So anyways, we're moving up here, we're feeling confident. This is the power of momentum, we're fully stacked, we've gotten plenty of kills to our name. I have plus 382 RP so far, we're chilling, we're having a great time. So moving on is a top 4 situation with very little information, other than that people have seemed generally very passive, especially in this lobby. It seems like when you have people play a certain way in a lobby, it's safe to assume other people will play the same way in the lobby. I don't know why it is like that, but it's something that I've noticed quite a few times. Obviously, they might just decide to push here, but you can see they were sitting, so somehow this team was here just chilling, doing nothing. And you had a whole team with, you could hear a triple sniper, so I think it was like a longbow, and like a sentinel, and a charge rifle, like triple snipers or something like that, on the left. And just what like I mentioned before, if you play extremely passive, if you're camping high ground with triple sniper, with Watts and Caustic, you're basically telling people, I can't take a real fight come and fight me, right? Like it's an invitation to go for it. So obviously making the crosshair is gonna be hard. I even told my team here we gotta work the angle, or work this team a little bit, try to like get an opening, because if we can get an opening we can probably wipe them. And all 3 of them are playing on the roof here. I'm just trying to like figure it out, just trying to work with this. By the way, this is really stupid to do, especially because we don't have an opening, but I just had the hunch, especially because we have gotten away with it the whole game, that if we just do what we want here, if we just like played our strength of fighting, we're gonna be fine. And now we see the 3rd team all the way up there, so we can kind of like establish that it is the only team here. And we should be able to do a fight as long as we don't trade shots with them. So we actually end up walking inside. I get a good angle here, good beam on the Loba. Sadly not getting the Finn because I get crossfired as they turn on me. Thankfully my teammate, the Loba, was right there to follow up on the damage. Here's the power of pushing as at least 2. Moving on, I go back, peeking from the same angle, which is generally not necessarily a good thing, but I go for it anyways, why not? What's the worst thing that, you know, could happen about me getting cracked? My teammate does go down here, and there's 1 guy left, and I, as I've stressed before, know how important it is to keep people up, so I tell my teammate, cover me, I'm going to go for the rest. The last guy was cracked, he was low, he's probably gonna heal up. We should be able to get the revive here without that much risk. Like, there's more risk leaving him up for even 1 second too many. You have to get him right back up. Also, like a very tiny tip here. That you guys, that's the other team looking for angles, so it's good we ended up looking that way. Anyways, one small tip here that I mentioned before is also, I wasn't expecting to be right here. That was a oopsie for me. Thankfully, my teammate was with me. That one tip, sorry, I keep teasing it and I'm never finishing it. If you have a teammate that's like downed right in front of a door, if you walk up to the door and you hit your revive button or interact key, it will actually open the door and you won't revive your teammate. You can counteract this by holding your interact key as you approach the door, or approach your teammate and the door, and it will interact with the first thing you see, which happens to be your teammate, not the door. That's the thing that's the closest to you, and you get the revive off 100% of the time before opening the door instead. So, if that's ever happened to you, it's not gonna happen anymore. Hit the like button if that helps. So moving on here, we got a top 3 situation. We kind of don't know where the 3rd team is. We know that there's a team up here and like maybe both of them are on that side. But I was thinking maybe because, you know, someone shot at me from here, you would imagine maybe they're here. But I'm not seeing anything, nobody's showing face. Not exactly sure what is going on, so I zipline up here. Trying to get an idea, even because he was shooting at someone's shield broken Pathfinder. However, when I peeked, oh, he got some great timing here. When I peeked the Pathfinder, I do 60 damage. He's definitely not broken, which means they were shooting someone else, which doesn't make sense because I only seen 1 team. Turns out he was shooting a rat, which we see about now. I asked him to cover me, and I bat up behind his dildo. If they do push me, you know, they have to actually expose themselves so they won't push up. Also, I can almost guess that they have this bell in the back of their head going like, don't give up high ground, don't give up high ground. Especially in Platinum, like, it seems like Platinum players really stick by these small rules, and it's the tenets of how they play, and it is the most important thing ever, that you don't break those rules no matter what. There's no flexibility. And so you can abuse that, if you keep that in mind. Anyways, I'm moving up here, getting a little bit of damage. Keep moving so he can hit the PK. End up killing the Transporter, 255, great movie. And we're moving up here, and Pathfinder goes down to my teammate. It was pretty solid in general. I don't know if he was also like maybe he was also like a Master or a Predator or something. But this was, I think it was a 4K game. We're gonna be looking at the score, the money shot in a little bit. We're gonna see the score, we're gonna see the damage, we're gonna see the kills. Because it was a pretty impressive game. Again, this whole stream wasn't super good. I didn't really get as many results as I would hope. But looking at it at the very end, drumroll please. We get 10 kills, 3.269, nice damage, and how much RP? 26 squad kills, with a lot of diamonds dying actually, so that's a tier above, which means we get even more points. And the money shot of plus 870 RP, bringing us from Platinum to Diamond, and of course a solo, actually on the dot apparently, that's crazy. Well, no, I'm stupid. No, we got a little bit comfortable in there. But, you know, the Solo to Master stream grind continues, and of course me explaining my decision making. I have a lot of fun doing these videos, so I hope you guys have fun watching them and that you learned something. Again, we're going to be streaming these both on YouTube and on Twitch when we have time, so make sure to stop by on Twitch or on YouTube, drop a follow, drop a subscribe, or wherever you're doing. And anyways, if you don't want to do that, that's fine, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace out.